Freedom is not just a destination, it's a way of life. Too often, we find ourselves trapped in cycles of doubt, fear, and insecurity, feeling as if we're held back by invisible chains. But true freedom starts from within. It's about breaking free from what no longer serves us and stepping into the limitless potential that was always ours to claim. This journey isn't meant to be walked alone. We rise together, we grow together, and we walk in freedom together. If you're ready to step out of the shadows of fear and into the light of confidence, then take my hand. Let's walk in freedom together. Break the chains. We all have chains, some visible, some hidden deep within. These chains are not made of iron, but they weigh us down just the same. They are the past mistakes we can't seem to forget, the doubts that whisper we are not enough, and the fears that paralyze us from moving forward. They are the opinions of others that we've allowed to define us, the expectations we've tried to meet, and the failures that echo louder than our successes. But here's the truth. Those chains only have power over you if you allow them to. They are not locked. They are not unbreakable. The moment you decide to break free, they begin to lose their grip. The only thing keeping you bound is the belief that you are still a prisoner, but you are not. You were never meant to live in bondage. You were created to walk in freedom. Think about the times you let your past define your future. How often have you held back because of something you did years ago? Maybe you made a mistake, and instead of learning from it, you let it become your identity. You carry it like a heavy weight, afraid that if people knew, they would judge you. But what if that mistake was never meant to shame you? What if it was meant to shape you? Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. You don't have to be the person you were yesterday. You are allowed to grow, to change, and to rise above the things that once held you back. Fear is another chain that keeps us locked in place. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough. Fear whispers lies in our ears, telling us that if we try, we might fall, that if we take a step, we might stumble. But what if we shift our perspective? What if instead of fearing failure, we see it as a stepping stone to success? What if instead of fearing rejection, we understand that it redirects us towards something better? The only way to truly fail is to never try. The only way to stay stuck is to let fear win. And then there are the voices of others, the words that were spoken over us, sometimes years ago, that still echo in our minds today. Someone told you that you weren't good enough, and you believed them. Someone told you that you didn't have what it takes, and you let those words sink into your soul. But who gave them the authority to define you? Who gave them the power to place limits on your life? You were never meant to live according to someone else's opinion. Your worth is not measured by what others think of you. Your value is not determined by their words. It's time to break free from the lies and stand firm in the truth that you are capable, strong, and worthy of everything you dream of. Breaking the chains also means forgiving yourself. Too often we hold ourselves hostage to our past. We replay our failures, our regrets, our wrong choices, and we let them steal our peace. But what if you could set yourself free? What if you could choose to let go of the guilt and embrace grace instead? Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was okay. It's saying that you will no longer allow it to control you. It's choosing to move forward instead of being stuck in the past. The moment you forgive yourself is the moment you release the chains that have been holding you back. Breaking free doesn't mean life will be easy. It doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it does mean that you will no longer be controlled by the things that once held you down. It means that when fear comes knocking, you will answer with faith. When doubt creeps in, you will stand firm in confidence. When the past tries to pull you back, you will remind yourself that you are no longer that person. This is your time. This is your moment. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more believing the lies that tell you freedom is out of reach. The chains are already broken. You just have to walk away from them. You just have to believe that you are strong enough, worthy enough, and capable enough to step into the life that was meant for you. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. You are not bound. You are not stuck. You are free. Now walk in it. From the moment we are born, the world begins to place labels on us. We are defined by where we come from, the circumstances we were born into, the experiences we go through, and the people around us. Society, culture, family, and even our own past experiences shape the way we see ourselves. But the question is, who are you really? Beyond the expectations, beyond the opinions, beyond the limitations that others have placed on you, who are you? Too often we allow external voices to dictate our identity. We define ourselves by our successes and failures, by what others say about us, and by the standards the world has set. If we succeed, we feel worthy. If we fail, we feel unworthy. If we are accepted, we feel valuable. If we are rejected, we feel like we don't matter. But true identity is not found in achievements, approval, or circumstances. It is something deeper, something unshakable, something that cannot be taken away by failure or rejection. Think about all the times you doubted yourself because of what someone else said. Maybe someone told you that you weren't smart enough, strong enough, or talented enough. Maybe you were compared to someone else, and you felt like you would never measure up. Maybe you made mistakes in the past, and you let those mistakes define you. But here's the truth. You are not what others say you are. You are not the sum of your past failures. You are not limited by where you came from. You are more than that. You were created with a purpose, and nothing, no mistake, no failure, no opinion can take that away from you. When you embrace your true identity, you stop living for the approval of others. You stop seeking validation from external sources because you understand that your worth is not determined by what people think of you. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into places that were never meant for you. You stop pretending to be someone you're not just to gain acceptance. Instead, you stand firm in who you are. One of the biggest battles in life is the battle of the mind. The way you see yourself determines the way you live. If you believe you are not enough, you will live as if you are not enough. If you believe you are not worthy of love, you will settle for less than you deserve. If you believe you are powerless, you will never step into your full potential. But when you embrace your true identity, everything changes. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to walk with confidence. You begin to take bold steps toward your dreams, because you know that you are capable. It's not always easy to unlearn the lies that have been spoken over us. It takes time to let go of the false identities we've carried for so long. But the first step is recognizing that those lies are not the truth. The second step is replacing them with the truth. Every time doubt creeps in, remind yourself that you are not defined by your past. Every time fear tries to hold you back, remind yourself that you are stronger than you think. Every time you feel like you're not enough, remind yourself that you were created for more. The world will try to put you in a box. It will try to tell you who you should be and what you should do, but you were never meant to fit into a mold created by others. You were meant to break barriers, to defy expectations, to walk in confidence, knowing that you are uniquely designed for a purpose. When you fully embrace your identity, you stop playing small. You stop settling for less. You stop living according to fear. Instead, you rise. You step into your calling. You walk in freedom. Your identity is not found in what you do, what you have, or what others think of you. It is found in the unshakable truth that you are enough, you are valuable, and you have a purpose. The moment you embrace that, the moment you stop looking for validation from external sources, is the moment you truly begin to walk in freedom. It's time to let go of the false identities, the labels, and the lies. It's time to stand tall in who you truly are. It's time to embrace your true identity. Your mind is the battlefield where victories and defeats are decided long before they manifest in reality. Everything you do, every decision you make, and every step you take is first influenced by what you believe to be true about yourself and the world around you. If you see yourself as incapable, you will act as if you are incapable. If you believe success is out of reach, you will never stretch your hand to grab it. But if you shift your mindset, if you renew the way you think, you will begin to see doors where you once saw walls. opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and possibilities where you once felt powerless. The way we think is often shaped by our past experiences, our upbringing, and the voices we have listened to throughout our lives. Some people grow up in environments where they are constantly encouraged, where they are told they can achieve anything. Others grow up in places where they are repeatedly reminded of their limitations, where every dream is met with doubt and disbelief. But no matter where you started, you have the power to change the way you think. You are not bound by the mindset you inherited. You are not limited by the beliefs that were placed upon you. You can choose to think differently. Renewing your mindset means challenging the negative thoughts that hold you back. It means taking a hard look at the beliefs you have accepted as truth and asking yourself if they are really serving you. Are your thoughts pushing you forward, or are they keeping you stuck? Are they empowering you, or are they draining you? Every thought you entertain is either building you up or tearing you down. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "I will never succeed," those words will shape your reality. But if you replace those thoughts with, "I am capable," "I am worthy," and "I am destined for greatness," your life will begin to shift in ways you never imagined. One of the biggest roadblocks to renewing your mindset is fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of stepping outside of what is comfortable. Fear whispers that it's better to stay where you are, that change is too risky, that you will never be enough. But fear is a liar. It disguises itself as wisdom, making you believe that playing small is the safest option. But the truth is, the safest place is outside of your comfort zone. Growth never happens in comfort. The life you want is on the other side of fear, but you will never reach it if you don't challenge the thoughts that tell you to stay where you are. Doubt is another enemy of a renewed mindset. When you start to believe in yourself, doubt will try to creep in. It will remind you of past failures, whisper that you are not ready, and convince you that other people are more qualified than you. But doubt only has power if you give it a voice. The moment you silence those thoughts and choose to act in faith, you take back control. Success is not about never feeling doubt, it's about refusing to let doubt make decisions for you. Your mindset determines your actions, and your actions determine your future. If you believe you are capable, you will take risks, chase your dreams, and step into opportunities. If you believe you are powerless, you will hesitate, hold back, and settle for less than what you deserve. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck is not talent, luck, or circumstances. It's mindset. Those who succeed are not necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most experienced. They are simply the ones who refuse to let limiting beliefs control their lives. Renewing your mindset is not a one-time event. It is a daily process of choosing to think differently, of rejecting old patterns and embracing new perspectives. It requires intentional effort, discipline, and self-awareness. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, consuming content that inspires you, and speaking words of life over yourself every single day. It means training your mind to see possibilities instead of problems, to find lessons in failures, and to believe in yourself even when no one else does. You have the power to rewrite your story. You do not have to be a prisoner to the thoughts that have held you captive for so long. You can choose a new way of thinking, a new way of believing, a new way of living. The moment you decide to renew your mindset, you take the first step toward true freedom. You step out of limitation and into possibility. You stop being a spectator in your own life and start becoming the author of your own destiny. This is your time. This is your moment. Change your mindset and you will change your life. Let go of the doubts, the fears, and the old ways of thinking that have kept you bound. Step into a new mindset, one of confidence, faith, and unshakable belief in yourself. When you do, you will walk in a freedom greater than you ever imagined. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to freedom. It keeps people trapped in situations they were never meant to stay in, holding them back from opportunities, growth, and the life they truly desire. Fear whispers lies, making people believe that stepping out is too risky, that failure is inevitable, and that they are not strong enough to handle what's ahead. But fear is a prison of the mind, and the only way to break free is to confront it, challenge it, and refuse to let it dictate your life. Living without fear does not mean that fear disappears completely. It means that fear no longer has the final say. It means that even when uncertainty arises, you choose to move forward anyway. It means that even when doubt creeps in, you refuse to let it stop you. The most successful people in the world do not live without fear. They simply do not let fear control them. They take action despite their fears, and as they do, fear begins to lose its grip. Many people allow fear to determine their choices. They stay in jobs they dislike because they are afraid of stepping into the unknown. They hold back from pursuing their dreams because they are afraid of failure. They avoid deep relationships because they are afraid of being hurt. They settle for less than what they truly want because fear convinces them that it's safer that way. But true freedom comes when you stop letting fear be the guiding force in your life. One of the biggest fears people struggle with is the fear of failure. No one wants to fail, but failure is a necessary part of growth. Every successful person has failed, often multiple times. But what sets them apart is that they did not let failure define them. They saw failure as a lesson, as a stepping stone, as proof that they were trying. The only real failure is never trying at all. When you shift your perspective on failure, it loses its power over you. You begin to see it as feedback, as experience, as something that ultimately pushes you toward success. Another common fear is the fear of judgment. Many people are so afraid of what others will think that they never fully express themselves. They hold back their opinions, their creativity, their true selves, all because they worry about how they will be perceived. But living for the approval of others is a never-ending cycle. No matter what you do, there will always be people who criticize, misunderstand, or disapprove. The question is, will you let that stop you? Or will you choose to live boldly, knowing that your life is yours to live, not theirs to control? Fear also shows up as self-doubt. It convinces people that they are not good enough, smart enough, or strong enough. It magnifies weaknesses and minimizes strengths. But self-doubt is a lie. Everyone has potential. Everyone has unique gifts and talents. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that one group is better than the other. It's that the successful ones refuse to let doubt win. They take risks. They believe in themselves even when it's hard. They step out in faith, trusting that they will figure things out along the way. Living without fear requires a shift in mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, you start to see them as opportunities. Instead of avoiding discomfort, you embrace it as part of growth. Instead of running from fear, you face it head-on. The more you confront fear, the weaker it becomes. The more you take action in spite of fear, the more confidence you build, and eventually you realize that fear was never as powerful as it seemed. It was only as strong as you allowed it to be. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in the face of fear. It is making the decision that fear will no longer hold you back. It is stepping into the unknown with faith that you will figure it out. It is choosing to live fully, boldly, and freely, regardless of what fear tries to say. Imagine what your life could look like if fear was no longer in control. What dreams would you chase? What risks would you take? What doors would you walk through? The life you desire is on the other side of fear. The only way to reach it is to stop letting fear be the driver of your decisions. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realize. And the moment you decide to stop letting fear hold you back is the moment you begin to walk in true freedom. It's time to break free. It's time to live boldly. It's time to stop letting fear win. There is incredible power in choosing to let go of the past. Too often, people carry the weight of past mistakes, failures, regrets, and disappointments, allowing them to dictate their present and future. They replay old conversations, relive painful experiences, and hold on to grudges that do nothing but drain their energy. But true freedom comes when you make the decision to release what no longer serves you. When you let go of the past, you create space for new beginnings, fresh opportunities, and a lighter, more peaceful life. Letting go does not mean pretending something never happened. It does not mean ignoring the lessons that the past has taught you. Instead, it means acknowledging what has happened, accepting that you cannot change it, and choosing to move forward without letting it define you. Holding on to the past does not change what happened. It only keeps you stuck. The only way to truly walk in freedom is to loosen your grip on what you cannot control and focus on what is ahead. One of the hardest things to let go of is regret. People often torment themselves over decisions they made, opportunities they missed, or things they wish they had done differently. They replay moments over and over in their minds, wondering how their lives might have been different if they had chosen another path. But regret is a trap. It keeps you anchored to a version of yourself that no longer exists. The truth is, you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. You cannot change the past, but you can choose to learn from it and use those lessons to make better decisions moving forward. Another burden many people carry is resentment. When someone wrongs us, it is natural to feel anger, hurt, and disappointment. But holding on to that pain only prolongs the suffering. Resentment does not punish the other person, it only harms you. It keeps you tied to the very thing you want to move on from. Forgiveness is not about excusing someone's actions or saying that what they did was okay. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that are holding you back. When you forgive, you take back your power. You stop allowing someone else's actions to dictate your happiness. You choose peace over bitterness. Letting go also means releasing the need for closure. Sometimes we wait for an apology that may never come. We seek explanations that may never be given. We hope for people to change when they have no intention of doing so. But waiting for closure keeps you stuck in a cycle of pain and frustration. True closure comes from within. It is the moment you decide that you no longer need anything from the past in order to move forward. You do not need an apology to heal. You do not need an explanation to find peace. You can choose to close the chapter on your own terms. Fear of the unknown often makes it difficult to let go. People hold on to familiar pain because they are afraid of what life will look like without it. They cling to toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, or unhealthy habits simply because they are comfortable. But just because something is familiar does not mean it is good for you. Growth requires stepping into the unknown. It requires trusting that what lies ahead is greater than what you are leaving behind. The longer you hold on to what no longer serves you, the longer you delay the blessings that are waiting for you. Letting go is a process. It does not happen overnight, and it requires intentional effort. It starts with a decision to stop looking backward and start focusing on what is ahead. It requires self-awareness, the ability to recognize what is weighing you down, and the courage to release it. It means shifting your mindset from one of attachment to one of freedom. Instead of thinking, "I need this to be happy," you start thinking, "I am complete with or without this." One of the most powerful ways to let go is through gratitude. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lost, your perspective shifts. You begin to see that every challenge, every setback, and every painful experience has shaped you into the person you are today. Gratitude helps you reframe your past, not as something that defines you, but as something that has strengthened you. It reminds you that even though things did not go as planned, you still have the ability to create a future that is even better. Imagine the freedom that comes with letting go. No more sleepless nights replaying old memories. No more bitterness weighing down your heart. No more fear of what's ahead. Just a lightness, a peace, a sense of renewal. When you let go, you make room for joy. You make room for growth. You make room for new possibilities. The past has no power over you unless you give it permission. You have the choice to release it, to free yourself from its grip, and to step forward with confidence. You are not defined by your mistakes, your failures, or your heartbreaks. You are defined by what you choose to do now. Let go of the past, embrace the present, and walk boldly into the future. Your best days are still ahead,